So I did an 18-hour trading marathon live on YouTube. Now this is one of the best trading experiences I've ever had with the community. We had the founder of Market, who was our sponsor. They gave away $300 cash live on stream. They gave away 3 memberships to their service. We had trader Nick come on, who owns the A1 trading company. We had Alan Perez, who works for the A1 company, and obviously myself. So we had 3 different communities all coming together, and we all had a great time. There was a lot of love, a lot of support, and we gave away quite a lot of things. I, of course, gave away some Elite Traders memberships on top of that. However, the point of the stream really was to take a $500 account at the start and see what we could do with that in the end of the stream, and then we would give away the profits. However, it didn't quite work out like that. Now, before we go deeper into some of the trades, I just want to say, unfortunately, I didn't know YouTube won't have the YouTube live because it was over 18 hours and I didn't keep a local recording. So it's very, very sad, but that 18 hours is now gone. It's completely disappeared. YouTube didn't save it. I didn't have a local recording, which was my fault. I didn't realize. So we're going to have to do another one at some point so we can rerun it up and obviously fix some of the problems we had. Okay, so here we are. We ended the stream actually down $100. We are slightly worse off now because I did leave, I left this trade running on silver and dollar CAD here. Both of these trades running when we ended the stream, which obviously we had NFP on Friday, so both of those got stopped out. I'll cover those ones in a second though. So we started with $500. We started at 1:30 UK time, so ready for New York, and we started really, really strong. So obviously I was awake, there was no problems. The chat was buzzing, the sessions were going, the charts were moving, we had volatility, it was perfect conditions. So you can say we actually peaked at around 15.5% capital gain. And this was great. I was very, very happy with that. And in theory, I actually just could have stopped trading, but it was meant to be a 24-hour trading marathon. I didn't feel like I really could stop trading and just book the profits. Now, maybe that was a me problem. I'm not sure. Maybe I just let the pressure get to me. Maybe there's a little bit of greed as well, but we continued, that's what the trading stream was. Anyway, after the market closed, we didn't really trade much into the market close. I took a very short 20-minute break to get a shower and get a cup of coffee and get a bit of fresh air, stretch my legs a bit. Anyway, we came back and I was fine, but you can see after the market opened, we had a very large decrease in volatility, large decrease in volume, which is obvious. We're out of session. We didn't really have Asia then as well. So we were kind of in Sydney, which doesn't really give much in terms of momentum to trade with. So I started making mistakes. We had a very small $7 win, a 38-cent win, a $10 loss. And as the night progressed, I was making these small profits, but it didn't do anything to the account. In terms of percentage gain or meaningful gain, not good. Obviously, if a $5 win, that's a 1% gain. To a normal trader, trading normal conditions, that's a good gain. That's fine. But when we're trying to, make a 50% gain, 100% gain, these 1% or these 0.5% gains, they weren't cutting it. Anyway, I was very conscious of this, and I was very aware that the stream could get very boring very quickly. I was starting to lose energy as the night went on. Obviously, I was trading at one point up until 15, 16 hours in, where I was essentially just staring at the charts for that whole time. I did take 5-minute breaks here and there just to get a drink, but yeah, didn't go well. But it was a great stream. As I said, we took a period when the markets closed. We watched some £600 life videos. We played some chess with the viewers. I cannot stress this enough. I had an amazing time, regardless of the money. Obviously, $200. It's not a problem. What really matters to me was that you guys showed up. You showed a lot of support and a lot of love, and I really could not have done it without you. I know that's a very typical content creator thing to say, but I really do mean it. If you guys weren't there keeping the vibes going and talking to me and showing some support, it would have been very, very difficult to do. We either would have been sat in silence, or we may have had haters in the chat, and obviously, dealing with haters for 18 hours, that would have been horrible. And obviously, a thanks to Market for sponsoring the stream and coming on to speak about Market and obviously answer some questions from the audience, and Trader Nick as well. Trader Nick did a great job. He wasn't sponsoring the stream. I work very closely with the A1 team and the Edge Finder, but obviously this stream wasn't with the Edge Finder. But he still came on and he still took time out of his personal time to come on and chat to the audience and show some support and love. So I really, really do appreciate everyone that showed up. It wouldn't have been the same without any of you. Anyway, So as the night dragged on, I really started to lose steam. We hit a relatively big loss here at $26. When I say relatively big, it's not that big, but obviously it's a 4% loss on the account, and that played with my mental a little bit. Again, I was starting to get in my head a bit too much. I was overthinking, but obviously not thinking logically because I was so exhausted, I was so fatigued on the charts, and it just didn't go well from here on out. So you can see again a $7 win, a $9 win, a $1 win, and then a $34 loss, and then a $97 loss. I tried to do the best I could, and you can see it at the start of the stream when I was actually mentally with it. We did quite well, but as the night went on, my performance just got worse and worse. Now, as I said, I think this was a little bit due to a little bit of greed, trying to obviously make back profits and obviously maximize the account. So I didn't sit there for 18 hours and say, sorry guys, I actually didn't make anything to give away to you, because that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to sit there and say, we just made $300, I'm going to give some away to the viewers, and obviously market would have matched that profit as well. So we could have given away a $300 cash prize to one person, which is really what I wanted to do. But unfortunately, that was very optimistic. There was a big chance of me losing money. I'm not a scalper. I am a swing trader. I don't trade sessions, especially Asia session. That's completely foreign to me. So I was really out of my element. Anyway, I'm not trying to make excuses. I could have managed risk better. I could have done a lot of things better. There was some trades that if I held them, they would have been massive winners, but I just didn't do it. I was just not with it at all. And a shout out to Ball Out, actually. I think some of my community and Trader Nick's community will know who Ball Out is. He's a regular viewer, talks all the time. He gave some really solid trade ideas, actually. And if I'd listened to him properly, again, the account would have been huge. But anyway, this gold loss that was when I thought, this isn't working. So again, we tried to make it into a 24-hour stream, but it got to the 18-hour mark or 17 and a half hours, and I was like, I can't. It was just before London Open. I just couldn't do it because we'd already lost $100 at this point. So we ran through the profits and then obviously ate another $100 out of the account. I just mentally wasn't with it. I was really struggling to be entertaining and keep the vibes going. The viewers were dropping as well, which is obviously, that's not completely normal. I'm not too bothered about the viewer count, but it obviously was a factor of the mental game there. So after this $7 loss and another $7 loss, that's when I just called it. I said, look guys, just can't really do it anymore. That was it. I think we had an amazing time, and it's easy for me to sit here and say this isn't a reflection of my true trading skill, but it really isn't. As I said, I was up for a very long time. I don't scalp. I don't have a scalping strategy. I don't trade sessions either. So I really did do sort of the best I could, but it didn't seem to work out very well. Towards the end of the stream, I did decide to go long on silver because silver's been rallying recently, which obviously was stopped out on NFP here for, it was only a $23 loss. Actually, I wasn't even on the market for this. I think I was sleeping. So I ended the stream at 7 a.m. UK time, and I was awake until about 1:30, 2 o'clock for NFP, but I was just in bed, just doom scrolling Instagram and TikTok, just relaxing for a little bit and just let my brain switch off. Anyway, NFP came very, very good for the dollar, actually, short term. So our dollar CAD, I placed some DCA trades on dollar CAD. One of those was stopped out here for $120, and the silver trade was obviously stopped out as well on that positive dollar news. So the account's now halved. So we lost 50%. But again, this was meant to be high risk. We were meant to be over leveraged. It was more of a, I don't want to say gambling, but it kind of was gambling. We're just seeing what we could do with as much leverage. It was 1 to 500 leverage, but I'm not done. So for anyone that's still watching this video, just before we continue any further, I just want to say, because I had such an amazing time, I want to do this again. Market were great, but I would love to do another one with probably with the Edge Finder. Maybe we could do an Edge Finder giveaway as well. We could run this up. I'm not going to do 24 hours again. That was too much. So maybe just a 12-hour stream, 16-hour stream or something. Again, push my limits, but hopefully actually make some money on the account this time. So yeah, hopefully we can do something like this again. I know I said it a few times, but I am surprised by how much fun I had. The viewers and the guests we had were awesome. Also, shout out to Alan Perez. Go and subscribe to him on YouTube. He's a very underrated trader. He's got a verified track record. He works for the A1 guys, and he's ex JP Morgan, I think, or Goldman Sachs. Can't remember exactly which one. But yeah, he's a great trader. Lots of experience, a lot of knowledge. Anyway. So what I found during this period was I was falling into a lot of traps that I used to fall into when I was a new trader. I've not had these feelings for many, many years where you're taking a loss and you're immediately back on the charts looking for that trade to make it back. Now, I'm going to forgive myself for that because obviously this was a very unique situation that I was in, but it's not something I've forgotten about. It's not something I'm going to just let completely slide because I haven't felt that for many, many years. And the fact that I was still susceptible to that with a lack of sleep tells me a lot about myself, that although day to day, swing trading, intraday positions are no problem. I don't struggle with that whatsoever. But as soon as I'm not quite with it, I start slipping back into those mental mind games and those very typical new trader traps. So again, as you can see, we took a $7 win, a $10 loss, a $4 win, and a $5 win. So yes, although these three trades basically break even, that's not a good way to think about the markets. I was really not on it at all. We didn't let trades run to take profit. As I said, we had a really good idea on Nasdaq that I closed out. I think it might have been this one here. We closed at $5. I'm not sure if it was this one or one of the other ones we took, but one of the Nasdaq trades would have been about $300 win, but I didn't follow through. I had to move stops to break even too quickly because I was a bit concerned about losing money. I think that's ironic because we lost money anyway. But yeah, I mean, again, the trading wasn't great. Obviously, I'm willing to hold my hands up to that, but it is what it is. That was the risk that was the whole risk. That was the point. So unfortunately, we didn't have any capital to give away. But as I said at the start, we did give away $100 to three different people, so $300 in total. One of my regular viewers, actually one of Nick's regular viewers called Bashi, won $100. So he is proof that we did actually give money away. There's also some other people on Twitter that aren't in my community; they're in the market community that won some giveaways there. We've also got people. I'm going to contact them actually today to give them the Elite Traders memberships. So we gave a lot away regardless. But yeah, that was the experience. And I think the time was too long. I think I really overestimated how long I could actually stay awake, but also how long I could actually stay sort of on content creator mode. It's weird for anyone that hasn't made content before. It might sound strange to hear that, but it's a different kind of mode that you switch on, because obviously I don't talk much in real life. I'm actually a very quiet person, but when you're live, you've got to be reading the chat, you've got to be replying to people, you've got to stay aware of what's going on. Is someone being racist in the chat? We did actually have that towards the end. Someone was a bit I'm not going to go into it, but yeah, someone was a bit of a hater. So it's stuff like that. You've got to do that, and then you've got to make sure you're actually staying entertaining, so people want to watch the stream. Again, that kind of leads into this sort of over trading side of things. I didn't want to sit there and just not trade for 4, 5, 6 hours, because then that's not a trading stream, is it really? But anyway, I don't want to be making an excuse. I know that may be how it sounded, but yeah, it was very difficult to stay switched on for so long in basically every aspect. So I traded poorly, but we had an amazing time. Again, we gave well. I feel like I'm just repeating myself, so I'm going to end the video. But again, for anyone that showed up and showed love and showed support, I really do appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. It was great to see the community come together, especially different communities coming and mixing together. We had people asking what market was. We had people asking who elite traders were. And we had this mishmash of people, and it was just a beautiful thing to see because there was no bad blood between anyone. But yeah, again, I will be doing this again at some point. I'll make sure it's recorded this time, because I wasn't aware YouTube wouldn't keep the recording. I thought they would. But anyway, guys, I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. We've just reached over 3,000 subscribers as well. My goal is to get to 5,000 by the end of the year. Whether we get there or not, it doesn't matter. I appreciate every single one of you. So guys, have a great one. Enjoy your weekends, and I'll speak to you very, very soon.